This might be a cool spot. Oh, we're out here on this wind-swept ledge here. And if you really wanted to, you could get a whole bunch of speed and go right off of that. I don't think there's a bike on the planet that's got a suspension that'll take that. I'm pretty bad at guessing distances, but it's got to be 60 yards down there, 200 feet. I'm surprised there's not a sign up here or something, kind of giving you an idea what to watch out for. This wind is brutal. This gets pretty steep down through here. Either somebody's gone up right below this rock ledge along there and gone down that side. And maybe you can tell from this angle of just kind of how steep that is. This part here looks to me to be a little steeper than this angle out here, but it's hard to tell. There's Mr. Super Dave. He's on the mighty 2023 Beta 300 Race Edition 2-stroke. Dave, if you crash down in there, I'm not going to be excited to go down there and drag you out. But I also know he's skilled, so I'm not too worried about him. And even from up here, it doesn't look that steep, but I can tell by the way he's looking around and picking lines and figuring out where he's going to go that that's probably a pretty rough edge there to be going down. Nice. She's got a good bike for that sort of stuff, though. Those Betas just don't weigh that much, those 2-strokes. Nice and light, a little easier to maneuver. I can't get any closer to the edge to film him going down there because this wind will blow me right off of it. Dave did that ride down through there. He's going to do it again. He says it's not too bad. I am not following him, and he didn't suggest that I follow him either. Oh, I'm glad he's filming it though for his own keepsake. Can't see him now. Oh, this shale stuff is sharp. Chew up your tires. There's a dam out there and a reservoir of water behind it. I don't know if the camera will pick that up. It's kind of cool looking though. I don't know this part of the state well enough to know what it's called. I should know. Maybe I'll try and ask Dave and I can put it up in text on the screen for you. So here in a moment, Dave's going to pop out on this trail down here at the bottom. He's going to work his way around, and then at some point he's going to come up over here and meet me. Now he's going to work his way back up on the other side of that bluff that he went down on. He made that look easy. You know, I've always said that I love being in the woods and the trees, and I do. But there's also something to be said for these wide open spaces. You know, you can see a long way, even if you're just looking over town, like we are here, but I don't know, it's just, you know, it's got a different sort of feeling about it when you're out right in the wide open. I think we're headed back towards the truck so that Super Dave can swap out batteries in his camera, and maybe grab a snack or bite. We'll be back at it. Too nice of a day to go home early, that's for sure.
2 very boring minutes later.
Face your fears, Lance. I'm sure the cameras don't do it justice, but that's steep. That is very steep. And the rear brake on this bike is terrible. I kind of want to try it. He's telling me to go around, but I kind of want to try it. All right. Whew. I mean, it's steep, but I'm not going to learn how to do those if I don't try it. And I have to learn to trust the bike that it'll roll through it, and it did. But it's always spooky because you always feel like you're going to slide out, fall down. But dang it, the bike is more capable than I am, so basically I just have to stay up on the pegs and keep moving. I know everybody else that's more experienced knows all this, but despite my challenges on some things, in general, this is a great spot for this Beta 500. For those of you who've watched very many of my videos over the last couple of years, you know I've been talking about selling this 500 4-stroke and getting a 2-stroke. And it's hard to ride a little more single track and things than I did before. I'm trying to improve slowly and carefully. And every time I get serious about selling it, it makes me sad. You know, I get this feeling like, oh man, I don't want to get rid of it. It's a bit too much to handle for single track for me. I know other people can do it, but it's just there's a lot of torque, a lot of power, a lot of centrifugal mass that most of the time I don't feel too much, but I do on the slow stuff. Plus it'll get hot, that sort of thing. Engine get hot is what I'm talking about. So I'd like a single track weapon, for lack of a better term. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to save up and get a second bike. Keep this one. Because for more dual sport type of riding, things that are a little bit more open, like a lot of this has been today, this bike is perfect. It's great. So I'd like to end up with two. This one can turn into my dual sport and sort of my more open area type riding, and then have a 2-stroke or maybe even an electric bike if I can find one that I really like for the single track stuff and the harder things that I would benefit from having something that doesn't weigh as much, doesn't have as much power, although those e-bikes can be pretty darn torquey. These railroad rocks are sloppy. Okay, we've kind of run out of trail here, but yeah, see, that's what I don't want to do there, Dave. He's trying to stay up on these little tie edges here on the railroad ties, but that's not very wide. That's only about 18 inches. And if a train comes, okay. Oh, this brings back memories of being a teenager and riding in the middle of the train tracks. Except I'm on the edge, but it feels the same. But this isn't too bad once you get up, get going. Now we got our trail back. You know, sometimes you try something like that, you know, these loose rocks and things, it gets a little squirrely, but how else are you supposed to know if you can, right? It's kind of the fun thing about going out and exploring like this little turn right here. Like, where does this go? I don't know. Let's go find out. Looks like it goes back out into wide open road area.